On my research team, we're working on 3 major projects, and these are ones you would be involved in if you joined the Yoast research team. Number 1, something we're calling Aduro leadership, and Aduro is Latin for catalyst, and it's to light others afire. And what we believe is that leaders aren't just at the top of the organization. They aren't even the people with formal titles of leadership. Leaders happen all over the company. They are catalysts for change. And the question is, what do they do? What are the practices of those leaders? We've now conducted several interviews to identify what those are, and we're launching into a quantitative study to look and capture what are those practices and how can we measure them inside of companies. Number 2, we're studying on-the-job leadership development and how do you develop those leaders. And what we know from the research is that 80% of development occurs on the job, in trial by fire, edge of your comfort zone, not sure I'd want to live through it again kinds of experiences. But not all leaders get through those experiences and come out better leaders or better people on the other side. So what can we give leaders to help them capture those lessons, to help them navigate through those times? Our third major research area is how can we build HR and talent management and IO interventions so that they work, so that they last 10 years and beyond? What are the secrets to building those strong, sustainable HR interventions? Do you need top management support? Is it more important to interact with the key stakeholders in the organization? Is it important how you craft it, the messages you use inside of those interventions? We're studying all of those and looking at which ones lead to interventions and initiatives that will last 5, 10 years into the future.
A metaphor that we often use to explain Aduro leadership is this idea of improv jazz. What this looks like is if you consider an improv jazz group, you've got all these different instruments playing beautiful harmonies and melodies, and without a conductor, without any previous rehearsal, people will come in and out for solos. So when we're taking on project, you see different people in the leadership position, you see different people in the supporting roles, and people stepping in and out based on what their expertise are or what their interest is. And that's a really great way to describe how we operate as a team. When considering SPU, the IO program as a whole, there's 3 things that really came to mind of what really stands out and is what is really unique about this program. One of them is that this is a very applied program. And you see that through and through on Dr. Yoast RVT. So every single research project that we have going right now is applied. Every investigative question that we're looking into and trying to answer is somehow going to benefit the literature or benefit organizations in this area and in the world as a whole. Another thing that's really important to the SPU IO program as a whole is networking. So in the Seattle area, as we're growing and growing, there's so many opportunities for IO psychologists. And I would definitely say within Yoast RVT, you could come to any meeting and have a question and say, I'm interested in this organization, or I'm interested in this particular job title and what they do. Do we know anyone? And between Dr. Yoast and anyone on the team and the networks that they've just really created within the Seattle area, they can get you in contact with someone to ask those questions. The third thing that really shows up in the SPU's IO program as unique is just the development you do here. We're told when we first get here, you're not going to come into this program and leave the same person. And that's kind of scary or a scary thought, but Dr. Yoast's team is just so great at really making sure that you hone that and that you're comfortable with that growth and being curious and asking questions and having conversations with people, and just really as a team is very encouraging of that growth that you do when you're here. So what does a regular meeting on Dr. Yoast's team look like? We are very, very proactive, every team member. We're very focused, we're very planned. We really lead with a task, and we like to get things done. Some may call us achievement-oriented or ambitious. That being said, even though a lot of our meetings are very planned out, we really enjoy our time together, and there's often food and there's often jokes told in between conversation when we are going through these meetings. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight as to what Dr. Yoast RVTs look like.
The If I had to describe the research on Dr. Yost's team in one word, I would say that it's very eclectic. And that means that one of the things that's special about this program is that you're not limited by a very defined research agenda that is kind of imposed upon you. For instance, one of our members right now is exploring the relationship between self-talk and mental toughness, and another is looking at the relationship between ethnicity and negative affect and distributive justice. So you can see that there's a wide range of research interests. You're also free to use different methodologies to explore those topics of interest. For instance, one of our members is using a quantitative approach to understand how organizations can support and encourage pro-environmental behaviors, while another of our members is using a more qualitative approach to understand how leaders use time in their narratives around change management. Or you may be even able to use both of them at once. For instance, the Aduro Leadership research stream started out as a qualitative research study, and now it's moving into another phase that is more applied and quantitative.
The other question we always ask ourselves at SPU is, what is going to be the impact of our research on the world? And I have to say, the impact of my teaching and my research is the same, and that is, am I able to equip students to serve others, to serve the world, to serve society with character and with confidence?